Hail, you Warhammer players, and welcome to the your inland northwest 40K podcast that talks about all things 40K, but mostly competitive and a bit of hobby. Today with you, of course, I am all day 40K, Jeremy Nakano over on TikTok, and with me is Joey Bedingfield. Where can they find you, Joey?
Bedingfield Painting over on Instagram. That's me.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Joey. And today is the final episode that we're going into before Tacoma, which is our West Coast big GW event. It is a pretty big event with like 330 players currently, and they don't stop selling tickets until like Friday or something, or until Thursday. So I don't know what they do because lists are due today, correct?
No, lists are due Thursday night before, like they're due before round one.
Holy crap. Okay, cool. So I might change, who knows, but I'm pretty sure I'm finalized. I've uploaded a list. We'll see how it goes. But before all that, let's talk about hobby. So, Joey, what have you been working on?
I have been working on the good old legally distinct Mordor.
Yes.
So my display board for my Drukhari, for anybody who may have forgotten, because it's been so long since I talked about it or touched it. So I have been working on that, trying to get it finished up, and I have. It is officially done. I've got tons of pictures and stuff that I will send, and
send my
they
way.
will
I'll
be
put them up here
around, and people will see them.
Yes.
So
let me go ahead and definitely. They're going to be great. It is a very cool mock-up. Lots of purple. Goes really well with your army. You have elevation changes. And everything looks really good. You put quite a bit of work into that. Really well done, buddy.
thank you. Yeah, it was definitely, it was a lot of work, but I think it worked out, and I like the way that everything looks. So
excellent. I have been really hammering out these assault centurions because I think that they're a very suitable answer for the Night Menace that will be at all of the tables. I'm going to go ahead and put actual pictures, but like we're doing pretty good so far. All 6 of them are at least here. And then
that's 6 battle ready centurions.
Yes, it is. And then I also have these little heads that I'm painting up separately right now. And that's been a good time as well. I normally almost never do that, but I wanted to try something a little different with the varnish. I'm going to satin varnish the whole model except for the head and bring in the head last and keep that fairly matte because I think that's going to just look better.
Yeah.
A totally shiny head just kind of puts off all the skin work you do on like a face. So, yeah. Sadly, I have had no practice games. So I am coming in fresh. I mean, I have had 2 GTs in the last 3 weeks, so I've gotten plenty of practice in. So if I, playing Wrath of the Rock, but I also have 6 months of Gladius experience leading up to the last month or so. So like, if not, almost 2 years in the edition itself. So I'm not terribly concerned about, running into those, unfamiliarity with play. But we'll see. We'll see how it all goes. What about you? Did you get some practice in?
No, I'm same boat. I have not had the time to get any practice in. So I'm obviously still in online school, and that was, I had a week off, which helped me like finish some stuff and get some various hobbying done. And then so this is now week 2 of my new courses. So I had last week, which was easy, but then now it's like, hey, week 2. So here's some like actual assignments, which obviously I have to get done, before Thursday, because I'm leaving Thursday morning, and I'm not going to do anything over the weekend, even if I bring it with me. It's just not going to happen. So I'm just trying to, get all that stuff done in the next 2 days. So nice. I haven't really had time, but that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine. You have plenty of experience on your army. Seeing as we're going to talk about our list, Joey, you made a change. What are we doing?
I did make a change. Part of that, there's like a myriad of reasons why this change has happened. I guess we'll start with the fact that I've decided to go back to Drukhari, and I will take Drukhari to Tacoma. So there's a bunch of piled reasons why I've decided to do this. One of which was being able to get 0 practice games with Chaos Knights. Obviously, I know how they work, and I can read them all day long, but I was not able to put them on the table, and that's not something I'm super comfortable with. I don't want to go to something like this with all of 0 practice. Not exactly the event that I want to learn an army at. So that was one of them, and then the other one was, or one of the other big ones was just kind of like looking at the display board, and I didn't want this amount of work and this amount of dozens of hours and like 2 months or whatever that I've been working on this thing to kind of go to waste and it just sit there. But yeah, a lot of it, we've talked about it before, right? It just falls back to faction familiarity. There's all kinds of stuff in the local area that I like, people's armies I could borrow and really have played whatever I wanted, but I'm just gonna fall back on faction familiarity and try my best if I hit knights, and then play every other matchup that I actually know, and just try to do well, and we'll see.
Yeah, and you know what? You can always potentially have a game. You just got to change it up a little bit into those big thick bodies, right?
Yep.
And both of your games are fairly close in when you had not put a ton of work into them, so they didn't feel close, but like score wise, they were reasonable.
Yeah, the Imperial Knight one felt super close. The Chaos Knight one really didn't feel close, but I think a lot of that also had to do with like the mission. On an easier primary, maybe that feels a little bit better.
Yeah.
So it's weird.
And also the mission layout for GW events are it's real, honestly, pretty fucky. So quirky stuff might work out pretty well. But remind us, what's the list? What are you bringing? What's it going to look like?
So I pretty much have, as I generally do, I've got like 1900 or 1870 is what I'm going to say, because it's 1880, because it's an awkward number and I hate it. I have about 1880-ish worth of my list that's like fully nailed down. This is what we're doing. And then it's that last like 120 points that I'm questioning and trying to figure out what I want to do. Because Scourges are 130, and that sucks. I get it. They've earned it. But it is annoying in the list building process. They're 130. 2 Talos is 160. So like it's not an even swap just to trade and go, oh, well, I'll just take Dark Lances, so I'll bring Scourges. So I'm not 100% sold exactly, but this is the list that I currently have sitting on my display board, and it's a thing that I can play. And then the question is just which detachment it's going to be. So right now it's Reaper's Wager in my app, and we've got 2 Archons, one of which is the Warlord with the Arch Raider enhancement, which is the Scout 9 as long as he's in a transport. And then we have Drazar, the Master of Blades. We have Lilith Hesperex, 10 Kabalites, 5 Racks, 10 Witches, the normal, pretty much my default battle line choice. We have a Raider, because I've decided to stop effectively combat squatting Lilith and her Witches. I'm not a huge fan of that.
Okay.
We have 3 Venoms. We have a Kronos. We've got a big fat unit of 6 Grotesques. We have 15 Incubi, which is 3 units of 5. And then 5 Mandrakes, 3 units of 2 Talos for the maximum 6 Talos that you are allowed to bring, and then a Ravager.
Nice.
So that is 19
units. Is that?
I don't know, man. A lot. It's a lot.
What's it like to have much stuff?
I don't know. I do know. It's pretty nice. So the idea, toying around right now with dropping the 3rd Incubi squad, I'm not 100% sure yet. Or I can switch to Sky Splinter, because that's another thing that I'm super comfortable with. And
dude, I have a wager. I want to see that thing fly on the table, dude.
Yeah, and it's definitely really good. Like not having to waste pain tokens in the shooting phase on Venoms is really nice. Because that is something like in a normal list, I'll spend at least 1 pain token on a Venom every single turn. But like no Overwatch strat is super good. Advance and Charge is super good. You've got sustained one or lethal hits, whichever one you choose. Like all of those are super, super good. It's just like my experience with Sky Splinter is Incubi with Lance are pretty nutty. But obviously I can't like they can get overwatched and there's some more play that can happen. I don't have advance in charge. You've got get back in transports and stuff, but realistically it's a Venom. I'm gonna have Lance one time, realistically. And so you have to use it super well. What I think it allows me to what it would allow me to do is commit more heavily into sort of the classic Space Marine go turn of like, okay, here's all 15 incubi because they all have Lance and that's great. Whereas in Reaper's Wager, it forces me to play that a little bit slower because I can only have lethal in one spot. But I will say Lilith going Super Saiyan with 12 attacks and a full 10-man witch with a pain token for hit rerolls and 1 CP for lethal hits can kill a knight.
Yeah, for sure. It's just
because
like 100 attacks.
Yeah, it's a lot. Lilith is AP4, so those go straight through. So she kills an armature. Okay. And then the witches end up being AP3, so they have a 6-up. But like, it's possible. It's not likely that they kill a big knight, but after shooting, they can. If I get one below 20 wounds, they can kill it.
Okay. Yeah, honestly, it's so infrequent that you face Drukhari these days. Mm-hmm. And I think that alone is an advantage over bringing a faction that, is good and cool, especially when you know it,
Right. So. Yeah, and that's a lot of it. And it's really just that, like, taking the time to kind of calm down after that RTT and, like, just relax a little bit and reevaluate and figure things out and go, hey, I had a goal for this year.
Yeah.
And I got scared.
Yeah.
And I was going to run away from it. And it's like, let's do what we came here to do. I'm not going to win the fucking Tacoma Open anyway. That's not what we're there for. I'm there to do well. So it's just go and see how well we can do.
So it's also an open. Like, number one, we have some of the best players in the world here. But number two, like, there's such a variance of talent and skill that are present that it's just it's tough.
It's wild. But yeah, like it's good. And I've got I have my own little personal goals that I know for the year, and like I know what I need to do for those to achieve those. And if I want to do that, then I need to stick to it, and I need to bring Drukhari out. So that's what we're doing. And I've got this board, so who knows? Maybe something crazy happens and we make like Showcase or something. I don't expect that, but that'd be pretty cool.
You know what? Showcase isn't all that hard to make at one of these. I made it last year. I didn't even have a display board with me that last year.
Yeah, I mean the packet says that like a display board doesn't necessarily go into it, but still.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it's like 3 or 4 tables of anything that's painted pretty well usually makes it.
Mm-hmm.
Is what I found. So I know that's like one of Wyatt's his big goal this year was like, I'm gonna make it to parade. I'm like, good. I hope you do, buddy.
I think Wyatt definitely can. His stuff is pretty sick.
Yeah, he's jumped significantly in his paint skill. He's put a lot of effort into non-metallic metal and and shading, and he's redone his army like twice now, which I'm like, good show, bud. Yeah, he's really put the effort into it, and it's very obvious how hard he's worked, and couldn't be prouder of the guy to really take that leap. Let's see. As far as my list, though, I'm pretty sure it's the same one from last week, but I'm sitting here going back and forth thinking about going to Wrath of the Rock, so we'll see. Just because it is fun, but likely what I end up doing is going to be Ultramarines, Gladius, just because +1 to wound is so good.
It is, yeah.
Reboot Gilliman, Marnius Calgar, while the efficiency is gone from having those two. In fact, it's technically inefficient from a CP perspective to have both of them now. They're still pointed so well and are so good that like you can't not want to bring them. Lieutenant with a combi because of course. 2 Ballistic Dreadnoughts because of course. 2 Assault Centurion squads because they're night killers. when I test roll it out, I get 8 wounds through every time.
It's pretty good.
I'm like, okay, this should be
Are
pretty good.
they damage 3?
They're damage 3. They're AP. They're strength 10, AP 2, damage 3, and Ultramarines are gonna have +1 to wound because it'll be the Oath target.
Mm-hmm.
They are generally rerolling hits because of Oath, and then twin linked.
Wild.
So 4s with rerolls to wound, and then they're sustained 2 into monsters and vehicles. So you just reroll everything. They're awesome. They're slow as piss, but that's what advanced charge is for. And they're they're like just dudes, so they can run through walls. Well, waddle through walls at least. I have a thing about doing a 6-man of Sendevs, so more Centurions, 6 more Centurions. A 6-man with las cannons and missiles, because with Oath on a target, that will kill a knight pretty much every time, because the missiles become strength or go up +1 to wound. With 6 las cannons, twin linked, +1 to wound, 2s and 2s pretty much. Yeah, they're just good. Company heroes to hang out with Calgar. 1 infiltrator squad to hold home. 1 predator destructor to help deal with the infantry menaces that are going to be everywhere. And that's with heavy bolters, because AP2, damage 2 heavy bolters are really good. And then with the strat, it's AP3 on both of his guns, ignoring cover into infantry, both 2 and 3, which is just juicy. And then 2 scouts, because you need scouts to score points. So that's probably what I'm going to go with. Otherwise, probably the Wrath of the Rock list that I brought to Mountain West, except minus the Lion plus Dev Centurions. Because the Lion, while great, I think he's actually quite good. He hinders your list making by being 315 points. Like,
that's fair.
2 units of stuff that can individually do what he does in combat, pretty solid.
Right.
Like, all the benefits are there. I think he's worth taking a lot in a lot of situations, but he does feel paperweightish in some matchups.
Yeah, that's fair.
But that's what's going on there. Now, we wanted to talk about this week going into Tacoma. We wanted to talk about the top competitors that are going to be there, and what we assume they're going to be bringing, because lists aren't due until right before the first game, which is insane. So we're just going to kind of make our way down the list, probably top 20 or so, or at least until we run out of people, and then we'll talk about where we fall on this list, where our friends fall on this list.
That's fair.
Yeah. So go ahead and start us off. I'm sure you want to go ahead and announce our number 1 combatant.
Oh, our number 1. Well, yeah. So based off of Elo, our number 1 combatant, who is going to be present and playing at Tacoma, is Scary Ridvan Martinez. He is, the best. The best. He's been the best Drukhari player for a handful of years now. He is one of the best players in the world. Phenomenal player, phenomenal person, super, super nice guy. So excited for him to be there. Excited to get the chance to kind of hang out and talk to him a little bit more. So he will be there.
That's awesome. Yeah, he has the highest ELO by a long shot at this entire event. So he's at 1950. And for anyone who doesn't understand what ELO is and where it comes from, it's a stat check. It's from Stat Check. And it is based on your win-loss record going into events that are 5 rounds or more with 25 or more players. And I think it's off the last 13 months, your record overall. So 1,500 being the median, like 0 if you're perfect 500, you're 1,500. If you are above, you go higher than 1,500. If you're below, you go lower. So that's how that works. The player that I would like to talk about next is Jeff Jew. Jeff Jew is actually I don't know Jeff, but he was the one who inspired me to play Dark Angels at the end of Tacoma last year. I came home from Tacoma and bought $400 worth of Dark Angels when I got home. Because just watching him play, I was like, oh, this is very cool. Like, he's smart. He's calculated. I was watching him play in the Shadow round against my buddy Jaden, who we'll get to soon. And I was just like, I like what he's doing. I looked at his list. I was very excited to read through it. From my understanding, he's a former Riot. Like, he was one of the first Riot employees. Okay. He helped launch the company. And so he lives from my understanding, a comfortable life, playing lots of Warhammer.
Sure.
um, but yeah, that's who was next on my list. Who would you like to talk about next?
Yeah, I mean, we've got, I guess, notably, we have, let me go back over here. So we have Ben Jurek and Brian Jones.
Heck yeah.
Um,
Those are so Ben Jurek, obviously, Brian Jones, both Art of War players. Brian Jones is a big Knights guy. Ben Jurek is, I think, primarily a guard player these days.
I think so.
The last event I was
super
at,
duper wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure.
At Mountain West, I think he played guard. So
Okay. And then the other we do have, so next to the handful of Art of War, which Scary is also, I don't know if he signed up for this event as them or not, but I know that he is affiliated with them. He is one of their online coaches.
That's right.
And then we have 2 Vanguard members in Josh Long and our buddy Andrew Johnson.
Absolutely. Drew coming in, of course, I think he's 38 on the list, which, considering the field and the number of players at this event, that's a very cool number for him to be at. That is awesome.
Yeah.
Like, good for you, Drew.
Yeah, he's coming in pretty strong.
Votan list for the better part of 10th edition, if not a little bit longer. And just knowing it so well that he's, coming in with like a 1632 ELO rating, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's honestly, it's pretty nuts. I will say, I do want to point out, I know I'm going a couple times in a row here, which is,
you're good, man.
Whatever, but there is somebody who they're not showing up on the ELO rating, and I know why, because they signed up for this event with a slightly different name than they normally use, and so they're not showing up on here. But if we look at the current ITC rankings, which I do have up, so it is a gentleman. I say before I say his name, because it will get funny, but a gentleman by the name of Dick McTrickle.
Oh, gotcha.
Which is, of course, not his name. He is, I don't know exactly what he does. He's a 40K tournament friend of mine back in Texas. And that is his name on ITC because he has some sort of like corporate professional job or whatever, and he didn't want his actual name mixed in with anything. So that's what he uses on here so that people don't know it's him.
Yes.
Super nice guy, but he's ranked, let's see, North America. I had it up and then I moved it, and that's on me.
Well, he's one of the best painters from your region, right?
Yes, he is one of the best painters. He is ranked in ITC overall. He is ranked 29 in North America.
He's also overall extremely well ranked also in StatCheck, coming in at rank 274 worldwide.
Phenomenal player. He is a Knight player. So unfortunate for me, I guess. He is already a very good player and now eating well with Knights. So
yep,
I would fully expect him to be bringing that.
We're skipping over some players here only because I don't have enough, really don't know them. But players to be wary of that we should all know of course, Floof Cox, GSD player who's probably eating right now in this Knight meta with his Horde army. Good for him. And then we also have Noah Badome, who is a Pacific Northwest G, one of the better players who's been a big Chaos Space Marine player for a long time. If he's coming in with that CSM list with the Lord Discordance and Vastor, that'll be interesting because he should do very well. And then, of course, Tim Grant. Tim Grant is the one who won the PNW Warlord tournament I was at, and before that, he won the Storm of Silence as well with his Champions of Contagion Death Guard list. And he is he's a special brain, that guy. He is so smart.
Yeah.
It is so weird to play him. He knows my army better than I do. It's phenomenally funny to play into him.
Right. And then, right under him, we have Donald Plummer.
And of course, Donald Plummer. Donald Plummer being number one of the best painters in the world, period. on his Tau most likely, because Tau also in this meta are eating with all their strength 14 guns.
Mm-hmm.
And he did pretty well at the PNW Warlords tournament. And then Alex Pina, big fan of Alex Pina. He was one of my first matchups in or he was my first round in Storm of Silence, my first or the second year of Storm of Silence I went to.
Okay.
He's super cool dude. Really big fan of both Pinas. I think they're both like great. He and his brother. And then Isaac.
Yeah, Isaac also ranked pretty high up there.
Yeah, Isaac coming in number 18 overall in this whole list.
Mm-hmm.
He is a very, very smart player. He also has one of those special brains that can just sees the numbers and stats on the board and just knows what's going on. He's extremely
There's another
dedicated
word for
to the
that,
game.
yes.
He's extremely dedicated to the game. He actually has a YouTube channel himself, and he's bringing T-Suns. And he did a whole video as to why he's bringing T-Suns. So I'm excited to see him there. It's one of the only reasons why I'm thinking about Wrath of the Rock is because I know there are going to be a lot of T-Sun players there.
Mm-hmm.
Wrath of the Rock is pretty good at T-Suns.
Yeah, it's pretty okay.
Let's see here. Oh, and of course, how could we forget Jaden? Jaden Iwasa, who has won best overall at this event 2 years running, I think he did it 2 years in a row. I don't think he was there last year.
Okay.
And that's when Drew took best overall, or something like that. Anyway, Jaden just got done painting up some of his Chaos Knights. He's running 6 bigs, and boy, oh boy, do they look amazing. I will save posting pictures of those until he comes on the pod. He was I'm thinking about having him on next week after Tacoma.
Okay.
So that he can kind of run through his series events, because he's probably gonna make Shadow Round. He's that kind of player.
Yeah.
So I'll be really, really happy to see him get there. Any other names in here you would like to shout out before we get into the boring names like ours?
No, I mean I think that's pretty much those are the big ones, right? Obviously this list is just stacked and smattered with phenomenal players, and we don't have the time, and I don't have the desire to go over all of them.
No, not a chance.
We do have Don Maddock who's going, which will probably be the best showing for Orcs.
Oh, that's awesome. A few locals are going to be there. We got Bryce Hobson, who's going to be there. He's actually he's got a pretty strong elo since demons have been pretty good lately. We also, and he had a really, really good showing at Storm of Silence. Dina is also going to be there, of course. I'm sure we're also going to have Jubilee in town. I can't imagine she wouldn't be there.
Jubilee is currently signed up, yes.
Awesome. And I don't think Kirk is going to make it. Really was hoping Kirk was going to be there. But he got his golden ticket, and he's just like, I'm good. And then of course Wyatt is going to be hanging out with us. Always happy to see Wyatt, and yeah, that's oh, and of course Dale, part of our little group out here, who's going to be there. So happy that most of us are going to make it. And I'm sure there's quite a few from the Coeur d'Alene store as well, right?
There's a pretty solid handful of us going, yeah.
So. Excellent. Well, as far as where we fall into this whole mix, so I'm coming in at slot 93 with an elo of 1522, which honestly, cool. I'm not unhappy with that.
Yeah. And then I will fall in just barely making the 100 at 99 with an elo of 1515.
Yes. Which, hey, you know what? We're in the upper 3 or in the top third of the overall numbers here. Of the people that signed up for it, there was about 100 names who just didn't appear. Now, that could be from name changes, how they signed up for the event in the case of Dick McTrickle, or they're people who mostly play in the garage and was like, oh, cool, a tournament. But all that being said, the lowest elo I see on the list is 1296, which is it's not a great showing. Um, but it's Warhammer, baby. It's normal. There's only like of
There's only
the
7 below 14.
yeah, and that's great. That means that those are most of our like 2 and 3, 1 and 4 players, and that's great. Just come and play Warhammer. Warhammer is a really fun game,
It
even
is.
if you lose, because it's always you can always get better at it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
There's always room to improve. Always. So.
All right. So, anything else you want to talk about the event? Do you you've never been to Tacoma? Do you have any questions about it?
I've not been to Tacoma specifically. I've been to the Dallas Open, which is a GW event. So I'm not like, I don't know. I don't expect, at least like procedurally, I don't expect this to be much different. It is a GW ran event. The staff is all the same. That is kind of just the way that it is. Yeah. No, I mean, that's it, right? Like it's it's at the convention center. It's
at the convention center. I'm going to recommend that you don't try to get pizza at lunch unless you finish your game like an hour and a half or 2 hours early, because trying to go get pizza takes quite literally the entirety of your time, if not more.
Out, yeah.
So
yeah, that makes sense.
Do be wary of that. So unless you smoke your round one opponent, don't do that. Otherwise, food, just all the food in walking distance is really solid. The bathroom situation is the bathroom situation. It is always going to be a bit shitty, pun intended, as people like to show up to an event having had like a whole steak for breakfast apparently and shit it all out.
Yep.
Don't wear sandals because the piss fountain in the bathroom is always disgusting. We're filthy creatures. But yeah, GW events are really fun. You just can't expect to take them super seriously.
Yeah. That's okay.
Yeah, and that's okay.
I mean, really, like, I would still love to go 6 and 2.
Same.
Like, that'd be insane. I will not be unhappy with 5 and 3. I think 5 and 3, specifically with Drukari, would be great. But if I manage to just dodge knights in the first 4 rounds,
the dream is there.
Then the dream's alive. So we'll see.
I really want to go, like, if I were to go 3 and 5, I'd be okay with it, so long as I made a good 3 and 5, meaning I won all games on my first day. Like,
right.
That's what I would be super happy with that 3 and 5. I expect
if you make it, because you'll be in the 3. You'll start in the 3-1 bracket, and like even if you lose the rest of the games, you're still gonna end in the top like 80.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But I expect a 4 and 4. Win 1, maybe 2 games day 1,
right? And I will
then kind of continue that trend to the rest of the event.
Yeah, and there's a lot of that too. That like I was the caveat, like the grain of salt with my Dallas performance. Like I was 5 and 3, but I was also in the 2-2 bracket.
Right.
So that changes things
a lot, actually.
So if I'm realistically, if we can make it into the 3-1 bracket or by some miracle the 4-0, then we'll see.
Getting to the 3-1 bracket would be like genuinely the most exciting thing from like a tournament standpoint, like ever. Like that'd be so cool to go to a super major and just start the event like you are fighting for like a top 50th place.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be so cool. But
and even in 2-2, it's possible to be the top 50%.
Yeah, which is awesome. So yeah, the biggest
there's
thing
so
is
much
the players, right? Like I want to play against really good players. I learned so much more playing against people who are exceptionally good at the game than I do against your round 7 and 8 opponent who's just like, this model sucks. Like,
right.
The low tables can get really depressing.
They can. And it's so like they are the extreme. They're either one of the most fun games you ever have because it's just the dude who doesn't give a shit and he is there for fun, and that will be a fun game. And then there's the one who is there by accident and it's just awful.
Yeah, it can be. but we'll see. 3-1 the Dream.
3-1 the Dream.
6-2 the Utopia. You know?
Oh man, 6-2, yeah, 6-2 the Utopia. Absolutely. I don't think there's a better word for that. Yeah.
No. But let's go ahead and switch up a little bit. Other news that have recently dropped is the fact that all the WTC lists are out. I don't want to get into this too deep, because there's, you can go check out Fireside 40K. They've done a whole breakdown, like population breakdown, and it's a really good job of that. The biggest thing that I had noticed when looking over this stuff is, number one, John Lennon is still playing Emperor's Children, which is crazy because everyone else abandoned it.
He's got them figured out.
And I am so curious to see what happens there. So I'm so interested in that pairing. And the other piece is Thunderwolf Cavalry are way too cheap. Almost everybody who brought a Space Marine is the actual Space Marine, which we're going to run into at this tournament. Luckily, Iron Priests have been nerfed for this tournament.
Yes.
Because woof, otherwise. But they're not for WTC.
Right. Yeah. So it's interesting, right? Like, and I mean, I don't know. It's not Wolf Jail. It's different, but it is.
It's
hefty.
Wolves and Terminator Jail now.
Yeah.
Because Arjack with 10 Terminators is gross. Like really gross. Not to mention the other like characters. They're super strong.
Yeah, they are. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see it. I think it's cool.
It'll be really fun to see. We're gonna have a ton of wolves at Tacoma, which is great. I am amazed about Thunderwolf Cav still that they're 100 points for these 3 models. I think they have 4 wounds.
I think they're 4, yeah.
4 wounds with a 4-up invuln, and they do entirely too much damage for that. And all I do when I see that data sheet is look at Outriders and kind of cry a little bit.
Well, motorcycles aren't as cool as wolves.
You know what? I don't disagree, but we can at least give them a 5-up.
That's fair.
Increase their points by 10, give them a 5-up invuln.
You may not even have to increase their points. You can probably just give them an invuln.
You could probably drop their points by 10, and people
still probably could, and give them an invuln, and it doesn't matter.
Like, they're fun and cool, but oh god, are they not good?
Right.
People can play them and make them good. Like, you see people, those madmen playing those motorbike lists for Dark Angels.
Maybe they should be T6.
Yeah, something T6, or at least give them a war gear option for a shield.
At least on like the Sergeant, right?
Yeah, or on something, or like because right now you either spend 80 points for 3 bikes or 140 points for 3 bikes plus an ATV. So you're spending 60 points just to give them an additional weapon plus an additional 8 wounds. Don't get me wrong, there's nothing to spit at, but the footprint is untenable. There's no hiding that unit. Do they have an extremely cool ability? Yes. Can you do some really fucky things with a chaplain? Yes. With a chaplain in, say, Wrath of the Rock, that thing is, I believe, 6 swings hitting on 2s, strength 7, AP 3, damage 4, which is hilarious.
Good.
He's just an absolute beat stick. As long as he's connected, if you give him an enhancement and connected to Outriders, like, he just slaps. +1 to wound as well, by the way. He's just a monster. So like, that's a really fun thing that you can do, but it's still like, it sucks. Like, it's just not good.
Yeah, objectively, it still sucks.
It becomes like 210 points for that unit, and you might kill something pretty good if they don't roll their invulns, which are on every model in the game right now, I think.
Right, pretty much.
It feels like.
And because Outriders have 3 wounds, right?
4.
4? Okay, they are 4.
T5, 4 wounds, a 3-up save, and they just die. Like, even in Wrath of the Rock, they just die.
They're still just kind
of. They're fun. They're a cool piece. But they're definitely a RTT. Or unless you're going full motorcycle gang build, where you have a detachment that like truly embraces it, and you're good at the game. Because otherwise, good luck.
An important caveat.
Yeah, because if you just kind of unga bunga that stuff, you're just gonna lose very quickly.
Yeah, you will find out pretty quickly that they are still just Marines without an invul.
Yep, and that's a sad day for any one Marine players to be without invulns.
Yeah,
Unless unless you have a 2-up save with a fairly high
Sure.
toughness, in which
Sure.
case then it's interesting. Okay, let's jump into our last segment of the day, which is I'm just looking for stuff on the internet about Warhammer to make, talk about some interesting stuff here. And here's one thing that I kind of am so like, I get it. Let me just preface this with I know that this comes from a place of enthusiasm,
Mm-hmm.
but every time I see somebody who's like, I'm playing my first game of Warhammer, rate my list, or
Oh, yeah.
I see that and I just like, I hate it. I hate seeing it because the advice is the same every time. It does not matter what your list is, bro. You're gonna lose. Almost every time you're gonna lose your first game of Warhammer, because unless you're playing into someone else who's also it's their first game of Warhammer. In which case it's a coin flip. But anybody with any actual experience is gonna just beat you at this game for
Mm-hmm.
like a really long time.
Yeah.
So what do you feel like when you see that kind of response or that kind of question on the internet?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you, right? Like, I don't know that it necessarily makes me mad, but I do like question it. Of on really anywhere somebody says something like that, the rate my list or do you have any advice or whatever. Like, first, it feels like an impossible question to answer,
It is.
um, unless you're just the normal. Because there's like realistically, there is no advice that I can give you. I cannot give you advice about the game that you don't know how to play. So what I like tell people, and the only thing I think that matters is, and not even for your first game, but I think it's for a while, probably 25 or more. Uh, you should only have two goals uh, when playing the game. Other aspects of the hobby are completely different, but you should only have two goals when you play a game for a long time, and that is to learn and to have fun, and that's it. Like, nothing else is going to matter in the beginning.
Yeah.
By learning, you will improve. That is just the way that works out. And just have fun and get a solid foundation, and then move forward from there. But we're talking months.
Months. It took me like 4 months to win a game of Warhammer, and that was like into like a bad list,
Right.
of someone like messing around. I think it took me 6 months to pull a game off Kristen, when I was first learning how to play with, and he was teaching me stuff. And he was like gobsmacked that I won.
Yeah.
It's
Yep.
like, okay. And it's like, okay, so yeah, guys, it doesn't matter what your list is when you're new at the game. It really doesn't. And
It really
and the
doesn't.
same goes for like army building and everything else. Like it's the question that when I see it, it's a literally copy paste answer every time. It's just play the game. It doesn't matter. Your 1 3 hour sit down is one of hundreds probably of games over the next several years.
Yeah.
And it's gonna take time.
Yep.
Accept that. It's gonna be okay. You'll be fine. You're gonna lose, you're gonna hate it, you're gonna learn a lot of stuff along the way. Additions are gonna change, units are gonna be good, units are gonna be bad. Um, and they're gonna and that happens all the time. Like the frequency of those switching up a lot all the time. Having only really been in the game for a few years, like seeing certain units being like absolute garbage to like, oh, this is actually extremely playable and good now, and then nerfed back to absolute trash. You're like, this is amazing.
Yeah. And for the most part, that's units. There are times where that's entire factions.
Yeah, also that. Like Death Guard for 2.5 years that I have known this, the 2.5 years I've really been playing this game have been awful.
Yeah.
And now they're great.
Yeah, and now
Oh,
great.
Okay. Good for Death
So
Star.
yeah, and like
Maybe-
it's just one of those things, right? Like you just kind of stick it out. Like it will change, and
Yeah.
you just wait.
Yep. Okay. Okay. I have a question for you, Joey. I need to know the answer. So let's just say Friday morning rolls in.
Mm-hmm.
Make our way into
Making it work.
the into the event, and
Yeah.
they give the little spiel. Everyone's a
Yep.
loser, right?
Yep.
Would you rather get paired with Scary first round or Michael Giannone who is the lowest elo on the list?
So that is an unfair question for me personally because it doesn't matter when that happens. Having the opportunity to play Scary, I will gladly get my ass kicked. I just want to play that game and learn. I've watched him play many times. I've watched him play in person. Getting the opportunity to play opposite him would be amazing. So let's separate. Let's change it, right? Let's go. Who are we? Let me look at. Let me bring that back up. Here we go. We'll go. I mean, we can go any of the next 5, right? So Jeff Jew, Forrest Phantom, James Kelling, Ben Jurek, Justin Serrano. Like, to be perfectly honest with you, like I know who Jeff Jew is now that I live up here in the Northwest. So previously, so a year ago, the only name that I knew out of that was Ben Jurek. And so if you look at those other 4 names, even with their elo ranking as what it is, I would rather play them, right? Like I would rather, and you can look at things of like, he's not right. Obviously, he was in Edmonton, but he's not here. If John Lennon, right, is there, you get paired in a John, whoever the lucky or the unlucky bastard is that gets John Lennon on round 1. And you kind of we make that joke at like LVO and stuff of like, man, I hope I don't get them. Like,
Yeah.
I don't care. Like, I would rather get that experience than to just kind of dick stomp somebody who it's their first event and move on.
I completely agree. I would love to play a game into like Jeff. Hell, if John was here, I would love to play a game into John. Just because like just again, it's learning. It's the opportunity to see someone just so cool and calculated explain exactly how they're going to pick you apart step by step, and you just can't help but be like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah. And you kind of just watch it happen because there's not another choice. So,
yeah. Yep, that's right. Okay. Anything else you want to add in today, bud?
Man, I don't think so. I mean, I will say we talk about it where we have said things like this before, but I will point out specifically, if you're listening and you don't know us personally, and you see us, come say hi. Come talk to us. It'll be awesome. That'll be super exciting for us. I would love to meet and talk to people who, for whatever reason, have decided to listen to my ridiculous opinions. So
yeah, and we'll also have stickers, right?
we do. We have stickers.
Yes. So you can come and grab one of these little foily, beautiful, yet another Warhammer podcast stickers. We'll either, if you ask for one, you can have one, or if you play one of us, we'll force it on you.
Yeah.
So
I'll throw it at you.
You know what? Actually, there was something that I wanted that we could start bringing in. Something that I thought would be interesting. To bring in like any kind of hobby, anything that you've been working with or that you work with on a regular basis and just talk about like its general value.
Ooh, yeah.
So I have one that I want to talk about that I really, really like. Let me grab it real quick. Put on my desk to remember, which is the Pro Acryl Glaze and Wash. This bottle, number one, is amazing. It's incredible. The best, like it has a ton of uses. Now, when it comes to pushing Pro Acryl through an airbrush, you need this. This a little bit of like, and then maybe a little bit of like airbrush thinner from like Vallejo does a pretty good,
Sure.
pretty good trick. You combine that with Pro Acryl paint, comes through like a champ. But my favorite thing to do with it is to just on my palette when I'm like mixing colors and whatnot, I just have some of this standalone by itself in a little corner,
Mm-hmm.
and I grab a little bit of it, stick it down in the paint that I'm mixing, and then I use this to glaze with, just a little bit by bit. I don't make a huge pool of stuff, but just little bit by little bit of time. Add in more, take out like, or not take out, but like correct the ratios, like you're making hummus.
Yep.
Um,
Yeah.
and you know the clip.
You got to get it right.
And then and yeah, and I look, this stuff is great. Um, and if I haven't talked about this in probably a year, but I am also a Pro Krill like affiliate person, so you could use 40K as your discount code and get like 5% off,
Hey, I didn't
or
know that.
support your local gaming store. Do that instead.
Or you can also support your local gaming store, but I didn't know that. That's really cool.
Yeah. But yeah, that is the hobby tool that I recommend everybody have. It's really good.
Yeah, that's solid. I in this instance will refuse to be put on the spot, and I will find something that I genuinely want to talk about.
Excellent. Yes.
Because right now I feel like I'm just going to say something generic, and that isn't necessarily what I think this is for. So
yeah. I think that no matter what, as we sorry, it was just something I was thinking about.
No, absolutely.
As we work our way down, like, and continue this stuff, you know, if someone has a recommendation, and you know, we'll try it. Like, it's not usually a stretch to grab any of this stuff.
No, pretty much any new hobby product, paint, some technical thing, brush company, basing stuff, whatever. Like, if it's new, I'm gonna try it. I just picked up 3 of the Pro Equal terrain tubes. The terrain paste that's now in a little squeezy tube.
That's nice.
Haven't used them yet, but I picked them up and I'm excited to try them.
Great! I can't wait to hear how that turns out, man.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think that'll do us for the week. Thank you all so much for being here. We always appreciate you. You can find me all day 40K on TikTok, and you can find Joey at Beddingfield Painting on Instagram. If you want to hear us talk about anything in particular, let us know. Drop it in the comment. Otherwise, tell your friends about us if you think our opinions are worth sharing with other people.
Yeah.
Otherwise, thank you all so much for being here. We appreciate your time, and we'll see you the next time.
See you around.